is call in at 620-343-6143. That's 620-343-6143. You can also listen live all day, every day by going to 995ESPN.com. You can also download the app, 995 ESPN, on your Android or iPhone device, tablet, whatever the case is. Whatever you got, we've made it available to you. Big show to get to, or remaining, I should say, here in the last hour. The Nick Saban rule is what they're calling it. I don't get into it. I don't buy that. But whatever the case is, that's what they're calling it, is the, quote, Nick Saban rule. Essentially what it is they're limiting, what, can I do this job today? They are limiting the amount of headsets that can be worn now on the field. Basically, the word is that Alabama would have guys, 30, 40 guys on the field at any given moment wearing headsets. They're all communicating with each other. They're all saying this, somebody's saying that, and that's how they're so successful, right? Is with all of the headphones that they have on the sideline and headsets that everybody's wearing and everybody talking to everybody. That's why they're so good. And wrong. Come on. Does anybody really believe that? Nick Saban said it best. Nick Saban specifically said, I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. End quote. And he's right. Why does everything have to be on him? There's no written rule that says that Alabama has an unfair advantage because they've got 35 headsets. That's ridiculous. But they've had to do a lot of things for Alabama. Like, for instance, there was this deal that came out, and it was essentially you're not allowed to talk to the players. And so what Nick Saban and them started doing was texting the players and tweeting the players. It was like, well, we're not talking to them. We're texting them. So then, of course, they had to go back and rewrite the rule book for this stuff. Mike Gundy was talking about this whole deal, head coach of Oklahoma State. And essentially what he said is that, they're changing this, and what they're going to eventually have to do is limit how many people are allowed on the sideline to begin with. A big part of the reason why, number one, there's a gazillion people on the sideline is because of recruiting and how intense it is now. I mean, that's why a lot of times in college sports, you have an assistant to an assistant to an assistant to an assistant. Somebody's kid is getting recruited, and, I wouldn't mind being on the sideline for Alabama games or Tennessee games or K-State games. I'll bet you wouldn't. So what do? They create a position for him. And they make it all legit and everything looks nice. And, that's the way that it works. That's part of the reason. A big reason why people have headphones on the sideline is so that way some Joe Blow guy who's got some kind of weird connection with the university, whatever the case may be, can essentially be on the sideline taking a selfie of himself going, check me out, bro. I'm here at the Alabama game, headset on and everything. Oh, that was a really good play call by us. Oh, we don't have the ball? Never mind. I honestly think that this is going to work to Nick Saban's advantage. You know why? Because it'll be less stuff to deal with than a headphone. That's why. Has anybody ever noticed that half the time Nick Saban doesn't even have a headset on? At least not until like the end of a game when it's really close. That's when you see Nick Saban put on a headset. And that is when all the chatter probably stops and the only people he wants to hear from are coordinators and himself. Really himself more than anybody, because he's probably going, okay, so what we're going to do is everybody shut up and I'm making all the decisions now. That's how that works. Does anybody really think that having a bazillion headsets on is really making a difference in whether or not the Alabama Crimson Tide have won these national titles over the last 10 years, let's call it? A decade of dominance by one football team is not predicated upon how many guys are chattering in a headset. It literally has nothing to do with that. Now, you could allude to certain things like Butch Jones being brought on as an analyst. All right, I'm here to analyze your offense and tell you what you could do better. I'm not an official coach. I'm an analyst. But guess what? Butch Jones is going to get a headset because his title is actually, number one, semi-legit. And number two, he's going to be an oh my gosh. An important, dude, I can't do this today. An important person of interest on the sideline. Do you see what happens when you talk about the Kardashians? Do you see how quickly the world around you crumbles? I just spent not even 10 minutes talking about Ben Simmons and the Kardashians, and look at how many times I have stuttered and stumbled through this segment. Ben, run for your life. Do it, bro. Just run, man. As far as you can. Forrest Gump that thing, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Forrest Gumping it. I'm talking about Forrest Gump at the University of Alabama. Running and not stopping. That's what I'm saying, bro. Back to the conversation at hand. Alabama is dominant because, number one, they have phenomenal recruiting. Number two, they have a coach in Nick Saban who understands and gets the SEC. He did okay when he was at Michigan State. He fell flat on his face in the NFL, but he has done wonderful at both LSU and Alabama. I really believe that if Nick Saban would have stayed at LSU, the dominance that you're seeing now at Bama would have been LSU. It's just a cold, hard fact. There's no data that supports anything else. It's just the way that it would be. Because the combination of Nick Saban and the Southeastern Conference is a winning combination. He understands the people in that area. He understands how to talk to the people in that area. He knows what kind of players to recruit in that conference. It's just the way that it is. Nick Saban has been one of the most supportive guys in terms of his athletes that I've ever seen in a coach, and he's been very vocal about it. And 99% of the time, I agree with everything that he has to say. He just gets it. And for anybody to think that because he's got headsets on, multiple headsets going at one time, is this all end all be all of dominance, that's why they're so good, has another thing coming. Anybody who truly believes that, I'm going to tell you right now, doesn't know sports, has zero idea about sports. And when the NCAA is making these kinds of rules, they have way too much time on their hands. Hey, guys, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start limiting the amount of headphones that can be worn or headsets on the sideline. That's what we're going to do from now on. And it's going to work. It's good. Watch Alabama completely fall off next season because of this. They're not going to be good. Yeah, they're going to be so bad that they had two quarterbacks that were so good, both of them, that they were able to get to the national title game and then with a backup quarterback in the second half, win the national title game. That's how big the struggle is at Alabama. Yeah, struggle is real with the Crimson Tide, bro, let me tell you. Yeah, no, that'll do them in. Got to get the old headsets off the sidelines there. That's, they won't be able to communicate any other way. You know, nobody uses hand signals or writes down on signs anymore or does any of that for football. No. They don't do that stuff anymore. Nope. This is going to be it right here. No headsets. No wins. Get real. Seriously. It's beyond arbitrary to me. It's something that is so insignificant to be making these types of silly rules. I mean, does anybody seriously buy into this? I don't necessarily get it. It's whatever at this point. You know, you've changed the kickoff rule. You're doing this stuff with headsets. You know, at the end, it's almost to a point where it's like, whatever, bro. Let's focus on every single rule other than the real problem at hand that we have. And that is money laundering in the NCAA. Players wanting money, compensation, financial compensation for the work that they put in. Let's just ignore that and create another rule. Let's not make statements on all this other stuff. Let's just go ahead and keep making commercials about how they're going to go pro in something else, make it look like we care about what they do in the classroom, and send them on their way when they're done. Hey, thanks for making us all that money there, bro. Appreciate it. Now that you've made us all that money. Oh, you didn't go to the NFL? Man, that's a shame. But you got that free education thing going, right? Because, you know, they made you go to class and you were a responsible young adult and went to class and everything. Because, you know, you didn't have all these people stopping you on the way to you know, back to class or anything like that. You had to sign autographs, and also you didn't do any interviews with ESPN or anything like that instead of, you know, going to school or anything like that, right? I mean, everything that you did was just practice in school, right, bro? Yep. That's what we thought. Headsets on the sideline. The demise of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide is going to be headsets minimized on the sideline. That's what's going to do it. We just leveled the playing field, guys. We're geniuses. Yes. That could have been, I'm pretty sure that was written on a napkin somewhere, dude. Written on a napkin during lunch. All right, so we got this deal. A lot of people think that we're helping Alabama do really good. What are you going to have? You're going to have the chicken? I'll have the chicken too. Let's just make this dinner easy. Give me your napkin, bro. Can you get him another napkin? All right, great. Give me the napkin, bro. All right, so what are we going to do? Well, you know they've got 35 headsets on the sideline, bro. That's got to be that's it right there. All right, so what? What's a good number? Somebody throw me a number. 25? Do I hear 25? Do I hear 20? Do I hear 20? 25 sitting at 20, going once, going twice. I hear 20. All right, cool. We got 20. All right, 20 is a good number. It's not too much. It's not too little. It's right there in the middle. If we did 15, it'd be obvious that we're just trying to tank the Crimson Tide. So we're going to do 20 headsets on the sideline for $500, Alex. All right, cool. Is my glass of wine here yet? I'm 99% sure that's exactly how that conversation went. Get real, bro. Those headsets, man, not having that's going to do them in. We've officially witnessed the end of the reign of Alabama, because if they lose the game next season, the first thing that we're all going to point to is not the fact that maybe they turned the football over a lot, or, you know, somebody just understood how to stop their offense and figure out a way to get through that big defensive line that they have every single year now, and, you know, that they racked up a bunch of points on Saban, or, you know, none of that's going to factor in. It's going to be that conversation that you had at lunchtime where you wrote down on that napkin 20 headsets instead of 35. That's going to be the first thing that we all talk about was, you know, the NCAA clearly made a really good move. And this is it right here. We're seeing the playing field leveled out now. Teams like Michigan have a chance. Teams like Chattanooga now have a chance. Syracuse, they're going to be back in it this year because of that. Every team now is on a level playing field. Because some teams can only get up to like 17 guys with headsets. And it's really disturbing their play calling. That's what we're going to talk about. That's going to be the first thing we allude to, is the lack of headsets on the sideline. The NCAA just gets it, man. You know, there's just not a smarter group of people out there than those in Indianapolis running the NCAA. Get real. All right. Maybe we don't give Alabama that soft schedule. Who are they playing? Southeastern Louisiana State or somebody like that in one of their games? Maybe we take care of that problem. That'll level the playing field out. I mean, yeah, their first game of the season, sure. But come on. You play 3 games out of your conference that are, Maine, nobody cares university. This is the Full Court Press. I am your host, Drew Duncan. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan83. You can always call in at 620-343-6143. That's 620-343-6143. Did you hear that, K-State fan? Everybody gets 20 headsets now. Did you hear that, KU fan? The world just got a lot simpler. We're going to take a quick break. We got plenty more to get to. We got Royals baseball to talk about. We got more NFL to talk about. We got plenty of things going on right here on the Full Court Press. Do not forget, tomorrow and Friday, I'm going to be in Strong City, broadcasting live from the Flint Hills Rodeo, the longest standing rodeo in the state of Kansas. And additionally, Saturday, we're going to be out there. Make sure to watch social media and stay tuned to 99.5 ESPN, Emporia's home for sports, on all the details for the Dirty Kansas event. We'll be back right after this. Don't you dare touch that dial.